right, let's go.
When there are 12 million people in hiding in this country, hundreds of thousands of people crossing our borders illegally each year because they can't make it. They can't support their families. When companies hire undocumented workers to avoid paying overtime or avoid a union, and when we have a government that just engages in symbolic raids but isn't willing to solve this problem comprehensively, and a nursing mother is torn away from her baby during a raid, that is a problem that all of us, black, white, brown, must solve together as one nation.
Back to school is back.
No.
And with Walmart's must-have,
Is that an ad?
Yeah, it literally just
you can check off everything on their list.
it
Even
cut right into it.
Yeah. So
I can't stand whenever that happens.
well. Yeah, so we're keeping our promise. We're diving into the implosion of the Democrat Party,
Okay.
and we decided
Okay, that
to.
was the end of it.
Yeah, that was. So we decided to look back and check out Obama's speeches on immigration and kind of tie in on why the Democrat Party is essentially eating itself alive. Is that the next video we're playing?
No. Thought we was gonna do the one that I sent you the link on, but I could do that right quick.
Yeah, just do it from your end. That's fine. Or let me see if I can do it on my end. Can I?
I already got it pulled up. If you, unless you want to do it.
All right, no, yeah, you can go ahead and do that.
This one.
Oh, the audio is off.
I just checked it. It said it was on. No, it got switched off. Stop switching off. I don't know why it does that. It does it automatically, apparently. Over.
There is bipartisan hope of getting it done. This year, the Senate passed an immigration reform bill.
By the way, for this video, he is giving a speech in an auditorium. And good night, dears. Anti-deportation protester was in the crowd and started yelling at him. Just giving some background.
By a wide bipartisan majority, and it addresses the key issues that need to be addressed. It would strengthen our borders. It would level the playing field by holding employers accountable if they knowingly hire undocumented workers. It would modernize our legal immigration system so that we eliminate the backlog of family visas and make it easier to attract highly skilled entrepreneurs from beyond our borders. It would make sure that everybody plays by the same rules by providing a pathway to earned citizenship for those who are living in the shadows. A path that includes passing a background check and learning English and paying taxes and a penalty and getting in line behind it, everyone trying to come here the right way. And each of these pieces would go a long way towards fixing our broken immigration system. Each of them has been supported by Democrats and Republicans in the past. There's no reason we can't come together and get it done. And what's more, we know the immigration reform that we're proposing would boost our economy and shrink our deficits. Independent economists have said that if the Senate bill became law over the next 2 decades, our economy would grow by $1.4 trillion more, and it would reduce our deficits by $850 billion more. And you don't have to be an economist to...
Gardening. Look. I'm listening to this and I'm like, there's a reason why most of us supported the Democrat Party years ago. And we felt like what they were saying made sense. And yes, it made sense. It made sense. Listen to this. I've said it many times. I miss the old Democrat Party, but then again, I think they were pretending. That's what I think. All right.
No, that's what I'm actually going to get into once we do this. Gardening, anybody else that's listening to the chat, I'm actually going to go through the breakdown of the demise of the Democrat, not even the Democrat, right? It's going to be the Communist Democratic Party. We
Yeah.
are going to watch it completely implode. And I'm going to explain more on that later.
Right. And Gardening says, if only Republicans would have thought of this. I have a bunch of comments from the Trump video. Someday we're going to sit and go through some of those comments. Just watch the video and go through, because the comments are priceless. And one of them said that one of the reasons why the Democrats hate Trump is that he took all of the ideas that they had abandoned, move them over to the Republican Party, and the Republican Party said, hey, these are great ideas. And he won how many elections using those ideas, and that's why Democrats can't stand him. Well, the Democrats should not have moved so far left in the first place, so yeah, you can keep going.
Figure out that workers will be more productive if they've got their families here with them. They're not worried about deportation. They're not living halfway around the world. This isn't just the right thing to do, it's the smart thing to do. Right now, it's up to Republicans in the House to decide if we can move forward as a country on this bill. If they don't want to see it happen, they've got to explain why. The good news is, just this past week, Speaker Boehner said that he is hopeful.
I'm pausing it right there. We was talking about this beforehand. What he just said is some Republicans were not in on this bill. I'm going to have to go back and see exactly what his bill was and what the Republicans had to say on it.
Yeah, we can do that.
So far, I'm agreeing with Obama. I want that.
No. Look, everything he's saying right now makes sense. Okay. And the frustrating bit of all of this is that this is exactly what Trump is talking about. But yet you have mainstream media twisting his words into saying that he's talking about all immigrants. Obama has addressed illegal migrants or illegal immigrants and dealing with that at the border and deporting them. And then he's now talking about attracting legal immigrants who come with skills and businesses and help the economy. These are exactly the same things that Trump has been saying for years. And they've called him a racist, Nazi, white supremacist. They want to perpetrate a black genocide. They want only white people. They call it what? Making America white again.
Does that mean that Obama's a Nazi?
No. Trump isn't saying that. They are.
No. I'm saying, from the Democrats' point of view, does that mean Obama is a Nazi?
Yes. Yes.
Hey, Intergalactic.
Intergalactic Rivals in the chat. Yeah. It's Friday, guys. Friday. I'm sure most of us miss the Friday night shows, so I know it's more like a reunion. So yeah, the Democrats are literally calling Obama a Nazi and a racist. Hey, and I guess some of them are about to do that on this video.
Oh yeah. So let's get back into it.
We can make progress on immigration reform, and that is good news. I believe the Speaker is sincere. I think he genuinely wants to get it done, and that's something we should be thankful for this week. And I think there are a number of other House Republicans who also want to get this done. Some of them are hesitant to do it in one big bill like the Senate did. That's okay. They can. It's Thanksgiving. Yeah, we can carve that bird into multiple pieces.
All right, again? Really? Don't hit me with a two-piece there. Oh, look, PDF.
All right.
Wait a minute. Was it that one didn't have?
No, that didn't have it. Okay, hold on. Let me get the link you sent me. Was it on the one you
link?
Was it?
Yeah.
Majority, and it would level the playing field by holding employers accountable if they knowingly hire undocumented workers.
What the heck? Yeah, I know that's the one that I sent you. All right. Well, let me see here.
Yeah, I'm testing it here too. So because we had this, we played this video and we're like, hey, let's see. Unless it had changed, so you might have to look at your watch history on YouTube.
Oh no! That one was the. I apologize. That one was on me. That one was actually his initial stance from 2008.
Yeah.
The one with the protester is the 2013 one. I actually have it pulled up real quick.
All right.
Apologies,
go
everybody. That was a technical difficulty on my end. All right.
Highly professional, guys. We're highly professional. Let's go.
All right.
This guy.
Most importantly, we will live up to our character as a nation.
I need your help. There are thousands of
That's exactly what we're talking about. Yeah.
every single day. Power to stop deportation for all.
Actually, I don't, and that's why we're here.
I need your help.
Okay.
Stop deportation! Stop deportation!
Thank you. All right.
Stop deportation!
What I'd like to do. No, don't worry about it, guys. Okay, let me finish. Let me. How about these guys don't need to go. Let me finish. No.
He's telling the Secret Service to let him be.
Stay there. Hold on a second. So, I respect the passion of these young people because they feel deeply about the concerns for their families. Now, what you need to know when I'm speaking as President of the United States and I come to this community is that if, in fact, I could solve all these problems without passing laws in Congress, then I would do so. But we're also a nation of laws. That's part of our tradition. And so the easy way out is to try to yell and pretend like I can do something by violating our laws. And what I'm proposing is the harder path, which is to use our democratic processes to achieve the same goal that you want to achieve. But it won't be as easy as just shouting. It requires us lobbying and getting it done. So for those of you who are committed to getting this done, I am going to march with you and fight with you every step of the way to make sure that we are welcoming every striving, hard-working immigrant who sees America the same way we do, as a country where no matter who you are or what you look like or where you come from, you can make it if you try. And if you're serious about making that happen, then I'm ready to work with you. But it is going to require work. It is not simply a matter of us just saying we're going to violate the law. That's not our tradition.
They don't want to work. They
The
want to
great
violate
thing
the
about
law.
this country is we have this wonderful process of democracy, and sometimes it is messy, and sometimes it is hard. But ultimately, justice and truth win out. That's always been the case in this country. That's going to continue to be the case today. Thank you very much.
Oh man. All right. So you're wondering why we're looking at Obama's old speeches. It's because we're trying to make the connection between the Democrat Party that most of you guys grew up listening to and understanding that, hey, these guys make sense. They're for the little guy. They support immigration, legal immigration. And then what's going on with the Democrat Party today and how it's eating itself alive from within with the DSA and the far left and so on. So let's jump into John Fetterman's comments. Did you get to see anything from the Republicans and what they were fighting back against? Maybe you can find out while we're kind of talking about this. Now, so far, the Democrats are losing ground because senators like John Fetterman are threatening to leave. So let's listen to this report.
Let's bring in Fox News political analyst Reince Priebus, former RNC chairman and former Trump chief of staff. Reince, welcome back to you. First off, here is John Fetterman in his own words, drawing a clear red line.
My long-term concern has been with the Democratic Party, as I am a member of that, is that our party is going to back away and turn their back to Israel. If our party ever becomes, and just make it official as the anti-Israel party, that's when I would leave, because that's been a moral clarity for me.
It does appear to be a clear red line, Ryan, although he doesn't say if he'll become an independent or a Republican if that happens.
Well, the center of gravity is certainly moving left. I mean, it's obviously very clear. But let's talk about the split in the Democrat Party for a second. First of all, the split is very real. We know that. In the primary voters in Democrat parties across the country, it's clearly a hot issue, and the loudest voices are against funding aid to Israel. But what's interesting is that the leadership yesterday on the Dem side, they didn't whip the vote. And so what that basically means is that Hakeem Jeffries is afraid of this issue as to his base, because he didn't kind of search out the votes. When I talk about whipping votes, meaning you go to members and say, hey, Sandra, I really need you on this vote. Can we count on you? They didn't do that. They just said, do whatever you want to do. Second thing. Interesting, when you on the clips that you were playing, I was thinking through all the different members that you had on the screen, and it was interesting that the members that were on the Intelligence Committee, Jim Himes is the ranking member of the Democrat Party on the Committee on Intelligence. He supports it, and so if people, it always mystifies me why we don't educate people as to what is this aid for. I mean, we've got an ally in the Middle East. We are containing Iran and their proxies. Hezbollah practically has taken over Lebanon. I mean, the intelligence that we get. And by the way, they buy our aircraft with the money as well. We also give about $1.5 billion to Egypt, about $1.5 billion to Jordan, $1 billion to Ethiopia, $1 billion to Somalia, $1 billion to Nigeria. There are reasons.
Hang on, $1 billion to Nigeria. I did okay. I wonder where all that money goes.
That we do this, but people don't talk about it, and then you lose support across the country when people don't understand what it's for. And that's a huge problem. And we've got a small split in the Republican Party as well.
I know.
And Ryan, how about the reaction from some in the media, some on the left, to Fetterman's red line? This is political analyst Luke Thomas reacting to John Fetterman. Listen.
I'll help him pack his bags. Good riddance. This is the biggest non-threat I think I've ever seen. There was a Quinnipiac poll this week that showed him more popular with Republicans than Democrats in his own state. Look, he's 19% support among Democrats. That is what like a Latin American president at the end of his term is getting after just repeated failure to do anything. Good riddance to him.
I'll let you react to that, Ryan.
Okay, so guys, if Fetterman is getting more support, Fetterman needs his own song. If he's getting more support from Republicans and Democrats in his own state don't support his position, is that an indication of how far left the Democrats have gone? It's just a thought. Okay, so Hickox, what do you think? Because we're talking about the implosion. We know that a bunch of Democrats out there don't support the insanity that the Democrat Party currently pushes. But when the Democrats in Philadelphia don't support Fetterman and the common sense takes he has, what do you think that means?
So far, I honestly, I think that the Democrats voted Fetterman into office because he was a stroke victim at the time, and his mind was still in a fog state. So they were thinking, hey,
it was a pity vote.
Yeah, well, no, you got to think with the Democrats. It's not what the voters want; it's what we want, right?
Mm-hmm.
We needed a mouthpiece. We needed somebody we could control. This dude just got out of a stroke, so he's not in his right mindset. So yeah, for a while, he was pushing those boundaries. And then whenever that fog finally cleared, and he's just like, the heck's been going on this whole time, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm almost 100% sure that his opinion about Democrats not wanting to support Israel is literally just an excuse. He doesn't want to put out there what he actually wants to leave for, and and that's the Democrats just suck right now.
Yeah.
So instead of saying that, instead of pushing the Democrat voters away from him, because you still have the older Democrats that are voting for him, they want him. But it's the newer ones again. Going, got to be speaking on that later. That are pushing back against him because, well, he's no longer a puppet.
All right, so let's read the chat because, guys, we don't want to be rude. So Gardening says, I actually don't know why they like Fetterman. He would be the same as a rhino. He doesn't even support the SAFE Act, I believe. And then she continues, I know he does vote with us sometime, but not a lot. Fetterman is a strange beast. He's towing the common sense Democrat line, but he's not entirely against the Democrat Party.
Yeah, no. Fetterman is an old school Democrat. Now, and he is hard stationed there. He's even said that even if I was a Republican, right, his values would still be the old school Democrat. So,
which is essentially what Gardening is saying, that he would be the same as a rhino, because it's almost like we're trying to get the rhinos out of the Republican Party, and then here's this Democrat who seems to make sense, and there are people who are saying, hey, why don't you become a Republican after all, because you're making sense. But that's us importing another rhino after we kicked out a bunch of rhinos.
Well, here's the thing, right? So it's not only Fetterman. You've got Donald Trump. He was a Democrat. He switched over because the Democrats were just going way off the rail. Then we got our Secretary of Health,
RFK.
RFK, yes, thank you. Democrat. Switched over because, again, going way off the rails. There was one more. Who was it? Was it Tulsi?
Tulsi, yeah.
Tulsi, again, left the Democratic Party because the Democrats were they derailed the damn train, right?
Yeah.
So it's the whole thing of these people are seeing it as what is happening. Now, the other Democrats, like the ones that are, I don't know, Bernie Sanders age, right?
Yeah.
They're not wanting to leave because they're already stuck in the mud. So they can't go anywhere. They're going to be there until they croak. They're going to live and die by that sword. I could respect that. Can I respect what they say? Absolutely not. But I can respect that they're actually sticking to it. Now, with the others that are, what happened?
You're asking me?
I saw the chat. Poor Tulsi's husband.
Yeah, he had cancer. He's dealing with cancer, and that's why she resigned to care for him. So
okay, I heard that story. I thought that he had actually kicked the bucket, so to speak. Okay.
You thought he had? No, I don't think that the cancer was that aggressive.
Okay. Well, yeah, I do feel bad for Tulsi's husband, and I do feel bad for Tulsi. I mean, I could honestly praise that woman and praise Donald Trump on that one for like, nah, you need to take care of your family. Go. We've got the rest of this now, and her for actually looking after her husband in a time of need. You're not going to find that in a leftist woman.
Yeah. So, is this Chiron referring to Fetterman? The Chiron at the bottom of the screen. Okay, Representative Smith Democrat of Washington says he was pressured to vote against Israel aid by violent far left threats against his family. And that's the other thing with the Democrats. They've become terrorists. Like they use violence to get their own political outcomes. So if you don't vote the way they want you to vote, they attack you. They threaten your family. You have the Supreme Court justices having to wear Kevlar vests because of these terrorists on the left. And the entire party endorses that kind of behavior because they never speak up or speak out against them, because I think the Democrat leadership are terrified of their voters.
Right. Let's see. Hold on. Gardening said, but then we had Tucker, Margie Taylor Greene, and on, who acted MAGA, but were really Dems before and basically Dems still. No, I can actually agree on that. So with Tucker Carlson, honestly, he's a traitor to the country. We know that he's got ties overseas. I mean, he was given a mansion, as far as I know. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yeah, I don't like what she did, right? Let me do this real quick so I can actually see. I don't like what she did, and especially against Trump with the immigration policies.
Yeah.
So I actually did some digging. Again, she's from my state, right? I found out her family owns a construction company, and that construction company is built off of the back of migrants.
Yeah.
That's why she was against it, because her family's livelihood was built on that. So she's like, everybody else must go except for the ones that are working for my family. And whenever that wasn't the case, she's like, oh nope, can't do this then.
Yeah. I spent the morning, part of the morning, watching videos on Thomas Sowell. You guys know that I love the guy. And he's 96 right now. He's 96 and he's still writing books. And one of the things that I kind of concluded after watching the last video was, every time you see anyone on either side, the left or the right, acting in a certain way that you either understand or don't understand, the one word that you have to think about is the word incentives. People have incentives to behave the way they do. You either have the incentive to do the right thing or the incentive to do the wrong thing. There's always incentives. So why did Tucker Carlson do that? We're going to find out in a few years. Why did Marjorie Taylor Greene act the way she did? You just pointed out something that most people don't know. They know her as a congressperson, but they didn't know her family business was construction. And how do most construction companies stay wildly profitable? They pay under the counter to illegal migrants. Yeah. And it goes on and on. Candace Owens, why did she flip? Incentives. So if there's anything that's going on, ask yourself, why is this person doing this? And even with John Fetterman, what's the incentive for him? Why is he voting the way he's voting? Why is he saying the things he's saying? What's the incentive? We may find out or we may not find out, but I'm sure that the internet sleuths out there will be able to tell us exactly what was going on, So we've
hold
been
on,
on
before we move over to Fetterman.
Yeah.
So the deep dive that I went through, right? For the fall of the Democratic Party, and it actually started with around that time with Obama, with the protester yelling, "Stop the deportations."
Yeah.
Most people don't know, but if you can actually look it up, where what was it? Progressive Democrats or liberal Democrats in Congress were trying to push Obama to make sign an executive order to stop deportations altogether. Just stop. Obama told those Democrats in Congress, no, exactly like he told the protesters, no, I can't do that. It's against the law.
Yeah.
Therefore, they continue to try up until he lost. Well, he didn't really lose. I mean, it was second term. Until Trump started running, and next you know, Trump was saying the exact same things as Obama. Why?
Yeah.
Because Trump was a Democrat. So whenever the Democrats heard this, they can't play that fiddle anymore.
Yeah. So
Trump
they
is with
decided to break the fiddle.
Yeah.
So since we can't play it, we're gonna break it.
Yeah, exactly. So I again with the deep dive, Trump comes out and he is saying the exact same thing as Obama, right?
Yeah.
And you've got this minority party and the Democratic Party that's like against everything that he is saying. So what do? They latch onto it, and it's like a leech, and it just starts growing and growing, and soon enough, it's a parasite that's taken over the entire party, leading up to now, where everything that they are doing, they have said is against American values. And you can look this around the world. Every single liberal party, I don't know what the heck they're drinking, but they've drank the same water. Every single one of them are doing the exact same thing, which is mind blowing. So with the Democrats, right? I started looking at like what other parties have been in the United States in the past, and what was their demise. Apparently, you had the Southern Democratic Party, you had the Whig Party, and I think there was a liberal British party. I can't remember exactly, but there were three, and it took them anywhere between 10 to 30 years to fall. Let me tell you, the Democratic Party right now is sitting at the longest running at 200 years. They are on a fast pace since I estimated it at 2016, because that's whenever Trump was running. But apparently it's been going a lot longer than that. But 2016 is whenever that parasite finally took root, started growing.
Yeah.
We're at the 10-year mark, right? We're nearly halfway from what the other ones have failed at. But here's the thing. They have accelerated the implosion. They was messing with the wires. That timer's ticking down faster. October of last year, the Democratic convention actually had to put up their own building for collateral for a $15 million loan. They've only got $16 million in cash. We don't know how much they owe in fees for the loan. And not only that, they are begging vendors not to send a bill until after the election.
Was it you who was telling me, or was I listening to? I think I was listening to it on a different report. The donors, George Soros, hasn't made a donation this year.
That was on a different one. I actually saw that one too. He's only, I think it was last year, he only donated $1 million to the DNC.
Yes, he gave $1 million, and this year, nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
And right now, because the Democrats are floating Kamala Harris to run in 2028, and she's surging, and of course you have AOC beating Gavin Newsom, they have a sick bench, and the donors know that this is a lost cause. They aren't voting with their money.
Yeah,
They
no, no,
aren't.
no. It's ridiculous. And not only that, why are you putting Kamala Harris at the top? She lost $20 million just running for president. 20 million. Are you kidding me?
She
Oh,
lost. No, she's blaming racism and misogyny, and the mainstream media said the same thing. They said it was because of racism and misogyny. And if they can spin the narrative well enough, they can guilt enough white voters to vote for Kamala Harris next time because she checks all the boxes. She's a black
actually,
woman. She's a woman, and yeah, they can try to do that, but it didn't work the first time. Yeah, go ahead.
that's going to tie in to the last thing that I have to add, and that was the one that I sent you that happened today. So from there, right?
Yeah.
I looked I worked with AI to actually try and figure out exactly around what amounts the Democratic Party actually owes, right?
Yeah.
So far they've got $16 million in cash. And on paper, they have $15 million in debt. They don't show the fees for the loan. They don't show the receipts for all the vendors. But comparing it to past races and whatnot, they're in debt right around 32 to 33 million dollars. Now, that's where it ties in with Fetterman, right?
Yeah.
Now, again, honestly, I don't agree with his spiel about Democrats not wanting to support Israel as the reason why he's leaving. I'm pretty sure that there is a deeper meaning there. But then I don't know if you have the other video that I sent you, or
The
did I
liberal
post it?
hive mind one,
No, not that one.
Carville.
Yes, yes.
I have that right here.
This
All right.
pay attention right here, everybody, because he is one of the biggest Democrats. I hate him. I hate him with a passion. But this is funny. So
where should Democrats draw the line on this stuff?
To talk about the larger Democratic Party post the election in Michigan going forward, I am not going to be in the same party with Hassan Piker. I can tell you that right now. If he becomes a force in the Democratic Party, I'm out of here. I have no intention of ever being in the same political party with that guy.
So where should
now, I'm going to add some context here. I don't know if everybody knows who Hassan Piker is, but he's one of the biggest douches on the internet right now. This dude said that America deserved 9/11. He is the one that traveled to Cuba. He's been to China. He's been put in all the fancy hotels, and right now there's an investigation to charge him. He is one of the largest mouthpieces. I can't say leaders because he's not in politics, but he is one of the largest mouthpieces for this new Democratic Party.
Yeah.
And with that, the newest releases was they want to abolish Congress. They want to abolish the presidency. They're literally wanting everything that is communist related.
Yeah.
So going back to the speed run the Democrats are taking to straight desecration, it's estimated 12 to 16 years. We're at 10.
So in 6 years, you think that the Democrat Party will essentially be gone?
Implode. Now, this does not mean that there is going to be only one party. What I'm guessing is the older Democrats, right, are going to reform. But this Democratic Party is done. There is absolutely no way. Now, this also ties in with all the Democratic cities. We know that the DNC is now $32 to $33 million in debt. If you look at every single Democrat city, they're having to have the federal government. That means me
Bail
in
them out.
Georgia, me in Georgia paying taxpayer dollars, right? That's got to
Yeah.
go up to the federal government. Now my
Yeah.
taxpayer dollars is now going over to Illinois, going to New York, going to California to bail them out.
Yeah.
No. And get this, I actually did some digging on that. If a state fails, like it completely just implodes, the federal government cannot step in to stop it. We just have to watch it crash and burn.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
Okay.
hold on, one more thing.
Yeah.
I estimate by the middle of the next presidency, the Communist Democratic Party will be no more.
All right. So, Bill Maher, a lifer with the Democrats, and here's what he has to say.
Francesca Hong, yet another major Democratic candidate who's all in on abolishing the police and is running for governor of Wisconsin, says, I think that my perfect world would be a world without prisons, because we all see the humanity in one another, and then we know nobody's disposable. Well, murder victims are.
What's your response to that?
No, the governor cannot defund the police, and I won't defund the police. And I'm not interested in abolishing prisons.
Liar.
What I am interested in is being serious about safety. And that means
What is going on with her
ensuring that
eyes?
law enforcement has the training that they need, and that we're
hang on,
holding law
I gotta make this bigger.
enforcement that break the law accountable. What also means that we have to be tough on causes if we're going to be tough on crime, and investing in the things that we know prevent crime, like funding schools, great out-of-school programs, making sure that we have mental health resources and addiction resources, good housing, and fair, healthier healthcare. So, and it's, those photos that he put up, I think he had to, because the real story is when you look at our campaign events and the people who are organizing repair cafes and coming together at bowling alleys, and first-time voters talking to people who may have not have voted in the last 6 years, there is an immense amount of joy and creativity and people feeling excited to be.
This is Kamala Harris all over again.
Yeah,
all over
word
again.
salad.
Gardening says her little voice. Look, people, I'm not a big bad communist. I speak so childlike. That's it. Look, that's the grift. They want you to let your guard down. They want you to feel like, okay, these people aren't dangerous. The ideas that they preach is insane. And then when you call them out on it, they say, oh, no, that's not what I mean. Oh, no. And the governor doesn't have the power to do that. But I'll tell you who does. The legislature, the Congress does. And as a governor, if something happens to one of the senators, just like we have with Mitch McConnell, and they get to pick someone to replace that senator, guess who they're going to pick? They're going to pick someone who pushes the same insane ideology that she supports or promotes. And then when something goes sideways in Congress, they vote on the side of the insanity because someone like her happened to be in a place of power to prop up someone else who had the insane ideologies she has into a seat in Congress so that those laws can be created. It's the long game. I don't believe any of these people when they say that's not what we want to do, that's not what we're about. They are playing the long game. Remember when they told us that we don't want to have, men in women's bathrooms. That's absurd. And then suddenly, there they were. And then,
Stop being a hypocrite.
How many things have they said, oh no, that's a conspiracy theory? And then it's like, it's happening. Oh no, it's not hurting anyone. And if you claim it's hurting anyone, you're a bigot. How many times have we gone through that cycle?
It's every single time that they open their mouth. I mean, look at the illegal aliens don't vote. Well, some vote, but it's not very much. Then it's it doesn't have enough to change an election, and now that's coming out that it does have to change an election, and they're just like, well, look at that butterfly.
Yeah. Do we have time to watch the liberal hive mind, or do we skip over to Spain? Because Spain, geez. I was going to look at the Black Lives Matter thing, but maybe we'll push it to Sunday. So maybe we look at Spain after this, but do we have time to look at the liberal hive mind video on some of the data that you've mentioned?
Yeah, we can do the liberal hive mind. It shouldn't be that long, and I could tell you where it cuts off.
All right. So
now I will tell you with his video, just cut past all the way up until you see where it actually shows. There you go. Yeah, because otherwise he's got a long spiel there, and that's his opening. Which, by the way, liberal hive mind, love you, man. But can you cut that down a bit?
Well, it's part of the attempt to stretch the video to 8 minutes. Okay, so in YouTube, once you can get your video to 8 minutes, you get more ads showing up, on the video. You get more ads. So, and YouTube tends to promote the videos that are at least 8 minutes long. It's a YouTube thing. Yeah.
Okay. So, I have no idea. So I always just did live streams. I don't even think they'll let me do shorts. So.
All right, so let's go.
All right, folks. So actually, I want to add a little bit of context here. I want to do a flashback here to an analysis that was done by Batya Ungar-Sargon. I'm sure you guys remember this.
The socialists want you to believe that these victories are the result of working class people flocking to their candidates. They want you to believe that they are fighting the oligarchy and taking on the billionaires and special interests and bringing back an agenda focused on the multiracial working class. Alas, this is a load of malarkey. A 2021 survey of DSA members found that 85% were white, just 9% were Hispanic, and just 4% black. Even Trump got 24% of black men to vote for him, and he won Hispanic men outright. As for a working class organization, just 4% of DSA members had blue-collar jobs, while 6 in 10 had professional jobs, and the remainder were unemployed or students. Over 80% had a college degree.
Now, everybody, I want y'all to pay attention to this because it is going to say a lot that the Democrats will not tell you. They will say, we are for the working class, right? That's all this. Don't believe your lying eyes. Watch this, and you're going to see the truth.
Of course, not everyone who votes for the DSA is a member, but the people voting for these candidates have a similar profile. In Maine, Republican Susan Collins is polling 21 points ahead of Democratic Socialist Graham Plattner among working class voters. So why is Plattner ahead of her by 2 points overall? Because he is cleaning Collins's clock with the college educated by 34 points. In New York, Daria-Liza Chevalier, the DSA candidate who ousted a 2-term incumbent, lost the Hispanic vote by 16 points. She lost the Bronx by 30 points while winning the more affluent areas of Manhattan. The DSA's Claire Valdez crushed Brooklyn Borough President Antonio Reynoso by beating him 62-28 in the district's high-income neighborhoods, while Reynoso carried low-income areas 63-31. The DSA is winning with over-credentialed, mostly white college elites over the candidates chosen by the working class that they pretend to represent. whose views are often diametrically opposed to those of the DSA.
Well, that's basically the internal demographics data for these DSA chapters. And well, the question is, does that extrapolate to the actual voter base? Again, these people present themselves as representative of all of these supposed downtrodden groups. Well, let's just say I'm not so sure the feeling is mutual.
0 of 15. 0 of 15 with the lowest share of college degrees. Ergo, he did not win in those working class areas. Where he did win, he won 13 of the 15 counties with the highest share of college degrees. So you're thinking about Democrats having real trouble amongst the working class. El Sayed came dramatically from those areas, in fact, not where there is working class folks, but where there are highly educated folks, more from elite circles than from the working class circles. And I think there's real worries among Democrats. Will that transfer over to the general election and El Sayed continue to have the problems that prior Democrats have had with the working class? And the polling estimated El Sayed's primary margin by about 10 points. And I think there's a real question, will that happen in the general election again? Because the general election polling is quite tight. And what we know in Michigan is the candidate of the college degrees tend to be overestimated. Will that happen with El Sayed? Maybe, but I think it's just another worry in why this race has closed dramatically and the folks who are trying to handicap it.
He won by 53 in Ypsilanti, 36 in East Lansing, 36, 31, 30, 28. That's a clean sweep, all right? What did she do with major black towns across the state? She won by 53 points, 49 points. 40 points, 37, 35, 31. There's a clear distinction here, gentlemen, between these two voting groups, at least this past week in Michigan.
Chance to win the Michigan Senate race. You go back to April at this point in the month, Dems had a 79% chance. Look how that number has fallen dramatically. Down we go in Lake Michigan. Now we're talking about just a 59% chance. While Mike Rogers, the Republican nominee, look at this, 21% chance, basically doubling now up to a 41% chance. So the people who are putting their money where their mouths are quite skeptical at this point, or at least significantly more skeptical, that Democrats will be able to hold on to the Michigan Senate seat with El Sayed as the nominee, though I still should note he is the slight favorite here. But given Michigan being a purple state and given where Trump's approval rating is, I think it's quite surprising that his numbers are not significantly higher.
Very interesting indeed. And once again, I really think there's a trend that's forming here. As we always hear from these DSA types, they make it seem as if their support is so wide-ranging they appeal to everyone, but they do seem very fringe, cringe with very limited appeal. I'm even thinking back to Zoran Mamdani's victory in the mayor race, and it's touted as this great triumph over the Democrat establishment, the new face of the Democrat Party, but he won with only 50.7% of the vote. To be honest, I think if Curtis Sliwa dropped out of the race, he probably would have lost. This whole idea that Mamdani has this mass appeal, that's not even true in New York City. No, he's got a very specific cultural appeal to elitist, overly educated, snobby douchebags, and everybody else is mortified. Probably even to the extent of what we're seeing with Bill Maher willing to vote for a Republican, or I guess in the case of the New York City mayor race, willing to vote for your previous abusive ex to go back to your previous abusive relationship under Andrew Cuomo, then vote for this Zoran Mamdani clown. And that appears to be the same thing we're seeing here with this Abdul character. There simply is no mass appeal. It's a very specific demographic. And the fact that most of the votes that he pulled were in college towns tells you all that you need to know. It's these snobby, elitist, rich kids at the top universities. It's the culture that surrounds the world of academia, this woke, progressive, academic cult of sorts. And now the question comes from a point of analysis. Is it going to be enough? Well, I don't know. Speaking to the whole notion of a broad coalition, of a big tent, in order to win on a bigger stage, you need to be forming a coalition. Again, these far-left DSA types can't even form Democrat coalitions. They're appealing to a specific sect of the Democrat Party and leaving everybody else dismayed and disillusioned. That doesn't seem like the path towards massive electoral success, a broad, wide coalition leading to a general election victory. That seems like a very fringe candidate. And I guess the political calculus, especially in an off-season election,
all right, you can go ahead,
really all about
because he's just gonna ramble on until the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, so watching this, whenever I saw this, I actually did some digging too. Can anybody tell me when the last time Democrats actually passed something that was good for all of America? Anybody?
Anyone in the chat? Any takers? I don't think I remember. I think the last time they passed something that was good for all Americans must have been in the 50s.
1970s. You heard what liberal hive mind said is they are portraying to a very small portion of America, right?
Yeah.
Small demographic. If you actually look at everything that the Democrats have passed since the 1970s, the chips, health insurance, right? The pandemic relief, it all went to certain groups. Everybody did not benefit from those. It literally kept getting smaller and smaller, and now, so what was it? Before Trump's first term, it was for black people, right? Democrats were all about black people. Biden got in the office. What did they do for black people?
Nothing.
What did they made toilet paper prices go up. They made inflation go up. People that at the top got rich. Everybody else, nah. Trump gets into office. That orb that they are holding, that group that they are focusing on, just got a bit smaller. Now, guess who it is? It's the 10 million migrants they just let into the country. And now even that is shrinking. Or wait. What was it? No, it started off wait, when was the LGBT? When did that start? That's where it started. Was that Trump's first term?
No, it was Obama. It started with Obama.
Yeah, but the Democrats were in office. They didn't really care about it. It's only when a Republican is in office that it becomes an issue. I actually did look up that thing about Obama real quick. So hold on one second. Let me so the bill that Obama was trying to pass that was the Republicans were against. I actually found out why. A pathway to legal status and eventually U.S. citizenship for undocumented immigrants living in the country before December 31st, 2011, including provisions for Dreamers.
Okay, so that was a problem.
Yeah, that was the problem. That's why it got nuked. Because the Republicans
was
were like,
a problem.
No. So whenever Trump's first term, you had blacks and you also had the LGBT, right? You had two parties that were commingling, but they weren't mixing. So you had two small parties that you could. Oh, this one's getting attention. All right, we're gonna put this one down here for right now. Oh, now this one's getting attention. Putting this one down here. Biden gets in the office. What happened to those? We're gonna have a very scandalous party on the White House lawn. That was basically it. Honestly, everything that was going on was mainly just regular citizens. Then Trump gets back in the office. Oh no, he's attacking LGBT. He's attacking black people. He's attacking immigrants. He's just putting the rules down like they're supposed to. Are you okay over there? But if you actually look, their groups keep getting smaller and smaller. And this is where I wanted to point out too, is everybody just saw it. The DSA, right? The DNC. Majority of these are white liberals, white communists. How did a Republican get a majority of the black vote? It's because all these people, all these rich kids think that's never had to work a day in their lives, go to college. They're getting degrees that don't mean crap. They're the ones. It's like, oh yeah, we need to. They have no idea. They've never suffered a day in their life. They think that because their favorite coffee shop closed on a Monday, that is a disaster. All right, they don't know nothing. All right.
Right. So the Democrat Party is imploding. All the data is out there, and the numbers from the last primaries shows that the blue-collar Americans aren't voting for the rising stars who happen to be the anointed candidates from the DSA. So we're going to be watching this, and we're going to be keeping tabs on it. Now, let's pivot over to Spain. All right. We started covering Spain last weekend, and I said if this story continues and has legs, it means that it's a huge problem. And I think it's a huge problem because this report came under my radar this week, and it says, breaking, the EU has just been exposed as the main financier of the migrant invasion. I was like, no, that can't. And it's brought to us by Rebel News. So let's have a listen, because we're looking at Europe right now, and many of the guys in Europe are panicking, because if this, what is potentially a land bridge between Ceuta and Spain, is breached by the crazy policies of the Spanish government, then the rest of Europe is vulnerable, and they may have to cut Spain off from the Schengen agreement, which essentially allows anyone within the agreement to allow their citizens from other countries to cross into their borders. They essentially erase their borders in order to allow for this traffic between the countries under the agreement. Now, the story develops further, and it shows that Spain, who claimed that most of the immigrants who broke into the country last week had been sent back, is literally transporting them to the mainland. And we have the reports on that. So let's listen to this story, essentially telling us that the EU is responsible for sponsoring the raid into Spain.
Alexa Lavoie for Rebel News, and I'm here in Ceuta, Spain. And I'm with my colleague Efrain Flores Mosento, is behind the camera. We are currently at one of the migrant centers, the Centro Equestre. As you can see behind me, there is hundreds of illegals being lined up. Just over here, you can see more of them, mainly female, because we were speaking with one of the taxi drivers that was explaining that mainly they are separating female and male because it's a common thing to see rape. As you can see also, those illegals are mainly from the south of Africa, mainly like sub-Saharan, as well as Mauritanians and other places. I was speaking with the taxi driver, and what it was explaining is that this is a common thing here in Ceuta, that people are crossing illegally. And I asked him, is it normal? Like, is it the people who crossed on Thursday and Friday during the massive invasion? And what he was explaining is like maybe 50% of the people who were already there. On top of that, the army brought more of the people they were able to catch across the city. So they are here probably to be processed. But I need to add that it's not only them. We saw on our way, the beach is full of them. Hundreds of them are on the beach. This is insane, the number of illegals for a tiny, tiny, tiny Spanish autonomous city. We talk about 83,000 people who are living here. And I asked, who is paying for all of them? And apparently it's the European Union. This is suicidal empathy. We will document everything. You can follow our work at our special website, migrantreports.com. If you appreciate our unfiltered journalism, please chip in at migrantreports.com.
So I'm going to jump over to Spain. Spain reported that they had deported all of the migrants, that everything is under control. And then I saw this report. Migrants in Ceuta are now being transported to mainland Spain. Some accounts on this platform claim people were overreacting and that all of the migrants who crossed the border into Ceuta returned the very same day. But they are literally moving them to the mainland. So I like the Red Cross, but this stand should have been set up at the border, and they should have been giving them these packs as they go back where they came from. You kindly give them a pack while they walk back across the border into their countries, because you don't reward people for breaking the law. The Red Cross was created to provide care and comfort to combatants during conflicts and war, not to incentivize criminals breaking into countries.
Well,
and that's what they're doing here.
It's not only just for combat and war, it was also for natural disasters.
Yeah.
And
So-
this is not a natural disaster.
It's not. It's criminals breaking into a country and you're passing out candy. You're giving them a participation trophy, like saying, "Oh, you broke into the country. Well done. Here's a lollipop."
Jeez Louise, sending them in waves. Look how wow.
Again, why is that for me? Sorry, I thought that wouldn't mess with the video. Now, for me, okay, it's like whenever we cover these stories, I want us to look at the side of truth and common sense. And when I see a big red cross, it's like, okay, it's a Christian initiative. It's from the West. It makes sense that they're trying to help people. Let's be charitable to them. But for me, this brings a lot of credence to the accusations that there were a lot of NGOs that were facilitating the trafficking of children into the United States during the Biden years. That most of the support being given to the traffickers came from NGOs. Most of the funding that went into organizations that facilitated the trafficking went to NGOs. And Red Cross is one of those NGOs. These institutions have been infiltrated by devils. All right, I'm just going to say it. I'm sorry. Okay, here goes the channel again. They've been infiltrated by devils because you don't these people know what they're doing. They are intelligent. They are intelligent enough to know that if you reward, that's why they tell you don't feed the bears. If you go to a campground, don't feed the bears. If you go to the zoo, they tell you don't feed the monkeys. Incentives. If you reward bad behavior, you get overrun. And that's what's going on. And the sickening thing is how we're all being lied to.
Yeah, and it's honestly with whenever you told me about them sending a mainlands, and this is for the chat, I started trying to look it up myself, and I had to change up my wording several times to then be able to find the actual articles, the media sites. And I checked on Google, I checked on Bing.
Yeah.
They do not want you to see this.
They're hiding it.
I was actually able to find the article before the stream, and it's not wrong.
Yeah,
It's actually happening.
Yeah, you can share that on the screen so we can just take a look at. Look, and I would say we're being lied to by both sides. So for anyone who's like, okay, so do you mean that the right doesn't lie? We're being lied to by both sides, and that's why, as people who have a brain, have a working brain and two eyes, we need to keep our eyes open, and we need to have conversations that expose the truth, not in a my side would never do that kind of way. We need to look at the facts, what's going on. And you know what? As uncomfortable as it makes me, whenever I say it, and I say, look, Trump isn't like 100% perfect. I have a feeling that in a few years, there's some information that's going to come out about the Iran war that we're not going to like. We're like, okay, this doesn't pass the smell test. Okay. Like, we need to be prepared for that if it happens, because both sides lie one way or the other. They lie. And at least Trump's lies aren't like a man can give birth. So like it's, but for me, it's like we do need to come to terms with the fact that we will be lied to at some point, and we need to be sensitive enough to catch when those lies happen. I was watching, and again, I'm going to say this before you talk about the article. I need you guys watching, and for who follow the content, and I know you guys like what we're doing. Some of you love me and you just want to support me. Don't get blinded by your affection for what I'm trying to do, or your affection for me. You need to be able to call me out whenever you see me slipping into a mold, because I see some of the channels that I love and I follow in the news and politics space slipping, and some of them say, well, it's a strategy to engage people. I don't think it is smart to ride the algorithm. I don't think it's smart, because before you know it, you become Tucker Carlson. You need to hold on to your integrity. You need to say the truth, no matter how it hurts your channel. It's easy for me to say, having a small following is very easy for me to say, but when you have millions of dollars worth of overhead, sometimes it's terrifying to wonder where the ad revenue or where the sponsorships are coming, especially when those sponsorships are like a monkey's paw. You grab the sponsorship, and next thing you know, it's this government agency that's at the other end of the donation and says, well, you have to stop talking about this, and you have to stop talking about that, and don't say this anymore, else this gigantic chunk of money that you depend on to pay your employees and to keep things going is going to go away. So it's tricky, but guys, just hold us accountable. If you see us going sideways, call us out. We need to stay on the straight and narrow. So back to the article.
All right. So again, it took me quite a few times trying to find this. I kid you not. I actually gave up after like the 5th or 6th time, and I went to AI Copilot, and as a matter of fact, and it pulled up a few articles. One of them I can't even view now. I was able to view it earlier, and now it wants me to sign up for their website. So I'm like, yep, nope.
That's fun.
Yeah. So this one says Spain Ceuta seeks transfer of unaccompanied migrant minors to mainland Spain after border rush. Now, it's a very plain and simple title. Yes, it's talking about just the minors, and I actually
It's
had to clarify.
deceptive.
Yeah, I had to clarify this with AI as well before I clicked on links that I just didn't want to click on.
Yeah.
So reading through this, let me see. Though the vast majority of migrants has since returned to Morocco, roughly 1,100 unaccompanied minors who arrived before and during the influx and cannot be summarily deported remain, according to the local government. So I was like, all right, well, so again, like you said, something doesn't smell right, right?
Yeah.
So I started. Let me see if I can remember exactly where it was at. Where was Church Truth? Nope. Since the reforms, haven't no. How much you want to bet? What I saw was on the other one.
Yeah, maybe it was on the other one. But what? Okay, so guys, what these people usually do is they put one headline up here. They put a headline up here, and then they tell you the thing they want you to see. Okay, in the first paragraph, reinforce the idea that they just told you for maybe 5 more paragraphs, and then the paragraph before the end of the article, they add the rest of the story because they don't want to be liable. They don't want to be sued for misinformation. So they tell you the rest of the story towards the bottom of the article because they know many people don't get that far. It's called burying the lead. They bury the crux of the story, the thing that they don't want you to know, at the bottom of the article. You know, and it's a trick that they all use. Yesterday, okay, I don't want to digress, but this is the trick that media, especially print media, does, and even video. They open up with a big title. Hey, look at this. You know, I have these channels that pop up in my feed. Trump loses it. Trump can't talk. And then I'm like, I know you guys are lying. I know you guys are just trying to gin up support from the Never Trumpers. And the Never Trumpers support those channels. You see them with over 500,000 views, and you know that what they're talking about is a lie. Yesterday, I saw an article that said Trump calls people from, okay, I'm just going to say it because I'm trying to avoid coming under the radar of a certain country. So you guys know what I'm talking about. So the article says Trump calls people from this country terrible people, as he repeatedly calls the leadership of this country terrible. And it's like, what are you talking about? The first paragraph says how Trump's statements repeatedly, of course, show how he doesn't respect the people of this country, etc. And then I go back and listen to the speech. And the speech essentially is targeting the leadership of that country. Trump said explicitly, I love the people. Is the leadership that I have a problem with. But what did the media do? The media took that and then they scrambled it and jumbled it up so that anyone who's reading it would believe that Trump despises everybody in this country. And why is that? They're trying to create, or let's say they're trying to gin up support for their position on Trump, that Trump is evil, that Trump is bad, and then create support and sympathy for the leadership of that country. So it's all politics. Because the leadership of that country isn't very popular. So everything they try to do is to make people feel sympathetic towards that leader, even if it means, okay, we're going to lie and say that Trump said this bad thing about everyone in the country so that everyone in the country would join this person that they don't like to hate Trump. All right, I see what you're doing on the screen. So what's up?
Well, since I couldn't pull up that one article, this is the way that I was able to find it the first time. First, I did the search of I don't know why it does that. I literally copied the title from that post. Spain, Ceuta seeks transfers of unaccompanied migrant minors to mainland Spain.
Yeah.
Here it doesn't give you like all of it. So I asked a clarifying question: was it only minors? And it says exclusion of adults. While the mass border crossing involved thousands of migrants, most adults, have been returned to Morocco or managed separately. With the relocation policy focusing exclusively on those who are minors and unaccompanied, local authorities and NGOs have confirmed that ongoing transfers related solely to this vulnerable category, reflecting both legal obligation and humanitarian priorities. In summary, in conclusion, the transfers of migrants from Ceuta to mainland Spain are exclusively and unaccompanied minors, with adults and accompanied minors not included in this program. The operation is designed to provide child protection, relieve overcrowding in local facilities, and complying with Spain's legal framework for the care of the vulnerable children.
All right. So
Now, yeah, even this has changed. Why did this change? Anyway, all right. So the original post that I saw, it said that it was taking children, women, or those who were sick, injured, or had an illness. And I don't know if you saw in the video that you had posted, there was quite a few of those guys there that was acting like they had a limp, like they hurt their leg.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me again. I need to go see a doctor.
Look, people who are trying to get into the West lie a lot. Well, not everyone lies, but there are lots of people who feel like they need to tell a lie to get in, and because the permission structure in Western culture right now that has been created by woke culture has basically taken over the zeitgeist. Anyone who tries to question an illegal migrant about what they say, saying that they lied, gets called a racist for questioning what they had to say. It's like that story you sent me about that black professor. We're going to talk, maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow on Sunday or on Monday. Okay, but this insane worldview that questioning someone that has been deemed a minority or someone who is disadvantaged is racist and bigoted, that is stupid. If someone comes up and says, my leg is hurting, and you're like, okay, I don't believe you, I'm going to get a doctor to check you to make sure that you're good, okay? That's not being racist. That is verifying a statement. And speaking of verifying a statement, let's close out with this. I shared my screen. Just let me open my own feed. I need you guys to see this, okay? So whenever we talk about how much we distrust the media, this is what we're talking about. Spanish TV channels controlled by the far-left Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez are filming a staged propaganda scene with a migrant child in Ceuta for their story about poor migrants who need our help. And here's the thing. Here it is. Oh, the guy's posing. He's looking lost and forlorn.
Is this really? Hang on. Hold on. I've got to. You can continue. I've got to pull this up because that's.
All right. Share your screen.
I gotta find it first. So that's what I was saying. Go ahead and continue because.
Yeah. So
that's the same shit that happened in America. Hold on.
Yeah. So you have the media promoting stuff like this, and I guarantee you that this piece here could have been a part of the entire media storm that forced the citizens of Spain to say, well, if you're bringing in kids like this, okay, who are lost, they don't have anyone, okay, bring them to the mainland. Guys, the border is just down the road. Call their government and say, hey, we've got your kids. We've got your kids. Come get your kids. Send the military. Come get your kids. It's as simple as that. I don't know. That may sound. It may sound like you're not being compassionate. No.
Anybody remember this?
Hang on. Let me hide this. Yes, the crying at the border. AOC.
That was done in a parking lot. That fence is fake.
Oh man.
I'm not even joking.
Oh man.
Oh, what's funny though, this is what made the news. This is what made the news. But what was worse is there was somebody off to the side doing the exact same thing.
Oh my God.
Taking a picture of them, and she is crying at a fence in the middle of a parking lot. She was nowhere near the border.
Oh man.
The same tactics.
It's the same. Look, it's all staged, and the media is complicit. The media is complicit.
And look,
these are the people we're supposed to trust.
And look, AOC crying in parking lot. Like, I'm not even lying. It's too good. It's too good. I mean,
the joke writes itself. Okay,
it does.
It just writes itself.
It was a whole setup. So as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh my God, this reminds me of the old all right, I don't know if you've ever seen this, but it was about Africa. Whenever I was growing up, it was constantly on TV. You get the ads for $1 a day.
Donate to Africa.
You could feed a starving child in Africa. And I'm like, what the hell are y'all doing? Stop taking a video of that skinny kid. Give him a burger or something. You evil monsters. Oh, like, I kid you not, there was one, and we didn't find out until afterwards, right? This kid was literally skin and bones. They said he was starving. This kid had a literal deformity where his bones did not grow properly. And it was saying that he was starving. I'm like, why?
Well, it's again incentives. People have an incentive to lie. People have an incentive to run these projects. People have an incentive to use Africa as the black hole for money. They know that there's no paper trail. Africa leaves no paper trails. When that guy on Fox News said how $1 billion gets sent to Nigeria, I was like, how? How would $1 billion be sent to Nigeria? And I don't know about it, but maybe it's happening. But Africa is a black hole. There's no paper trail. They send money there to disappear. That's what people do. They send money to Africa so that the money disappears. It gets distributed in Europe, in North America. The UN takes a piece. Oh yeah, you're sharing on the wrong screen.
You're in the wrong screen.
Yeah. So
I have to play this real quick because this plays so well into it.
Okay, so go ahead.
A lot of people out there were witnessing these photos that were being kicked out in terms of AOC at this border protest, apparently, and that she was crying because of the individuals that were on the other side screaming for them to be released and helped or whatever. Well, now we have some other images that have come out showing some officers standing here on the other side, but instead of some other people, there seems to have been nothing but police in an empty lot from all these angles. If you guys got something else, let me know. Got something else to add to this, but these are the very interesting ones here. You can see here she's crying. She's so upset. Look at that face. And then just cops. And here, these two, right behind on the other side. No one is standing there. It's just the cop cars and a couple of cops that's standing around.
They were there literally as security detail for that. They had a crew come up and remove the fence afterwards.
It's Hollywood. It's Hollywood.
I'm sorry that I had to. It's glorious. Again, I don't know what's in the water. I don't know what the hell they're drinking, but apparently it's spreading.
Oh no, and we're bad people for pointing it out. We're bad people for pointing out that the cages that AOC accused Trump of putting kids in were built by Obama.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obama put the kids in those cages. The whole thing writes itself. It's fine. What we're just gonna do is learn how to point and laugh and call them out and try to entertain ourselves while this insanity is happening. Because I don't think we should take it seriously to the point where we get stressed out. Okay, just relax. Understand that most of it is a grift. They're lying. If they say that the world is about to end, it's probably not.
That was
they said that
2000 and 2012.
Yeah. They said that by 2020 that half of Europe will be underwater, and that California would fall into the Pacific Ocean.
California was supposed to be an island like 10 years ago.
Yeah. They said that Al Gore had his Inconvenient Truth video playing on repeat and going on conferences. Where is he now? He's claiming that, well, the model is still accurate. He's like, they're desperately trying to make sure that all the lies they've told continue to propagate. It's all a grift. Okay, it's all a grift. Let's just relax, point and laugh. Well, the people in Iran aren't laughing. I know people in other parts of the world where they have real problems and real conflicts aren't laughing. People right now, tonight in northern Nigeria, there are people who are afraid for their lives because of the maniacs, okay, that are running around northern Nigeria with, pew-pews, eradicating Christian villages. They aren't safe. So I'm not talking about those kinds of occurrences, but some of these things that we watch on Fox News and TDSBC and CNN that tries to make us freak out and think that everything is getting destroyed. We just need to take a breath and make decisions. And that's why whenever I watch stuff like this along with you guys, I just say, look, we just have to make a decision to vote the right way, because elections have consequences. Let's vote in the right people. People literally saw AOC doing this and they voted for her. Kept her in office.
We've got to end this soon. I mean, I've got others that I could pull up the exact same way. I've got one that's in New York City downtown where they're trying to show that it's a big old crowd. There's somebody that's on in one of the buildings looking out, and they're like, what are they doing down there? And it's literally a small crowd just right in front of the camera, but at the camera angle, it looks like a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy. All right, so let's call it. We try to end these in an hour, but we've been failing recently to end within an hour because there's just so much to cover, so much to tell. You were dealing with 70 years, 80 years of lies that we're trying to unpack. And you think it's just about immigrants breaking into Spain, immigrants breaking into the US during the Biden years. It goes way back further than just 2016. And we just try to bring ourselves up to speed to say, look, all of this is a grift. We saw Obama literally saying everything that Trump is saying today, and the media didn't call him a racist. They didn't say he was a Nazi.
Biden still has not agreed with the Democrats publicly about being against immigration.
Yeah. So that's all, you know. Ooh. It's crazy. What's that? I don't know what that is. Let's see. Is that?
Yeah.
Oh. Woohoo! Thank you.
Give a round of applause.
Thank you, gardening. Thank you, gardening. Look, I'm like shocked. I'm blown away. Thank you. Yeah. Send us jewels, send us super chats. Like I literally forget to do these things. I'm such a horrible live streamer. I don't grift. Okay, I don't grift. I don't find ways of trying to squeeze super chats from you guys. I don't even insist on reading just the super chats. I read everything. So I don't give you guys the incentive to do super chats. So that's why most of you don't do super chats. There's no incentive. There's no incentive. But guys, gardening, thank you so much for that. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much.
All right. Hey, partner, I'm going to go ahead and head out. My wife's on the phone. So
all
love
right, no
everybody.
Hey.
Good night. I will see y'all later.
Oh, well, I'm wrapping up already. So, guys, yeah, you can dip out. It's fine. I'll just close the show. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. It's crazy that so much is happening. There's so much to cover. And whenever we go through the reviews, you know, to plan the show, we look at all the stories that are happening, and there's just so much to cover. And sometimes we need your help to pick out the stories. Okay, so if there's a story that you're seeing that you don't think we're looking at, you know, you can let us know. And during the last live stream, we had Mrs. Hickox on the live stream, and one of the things that we discussed was having you guys essentially be part of curating the story, so we can literally come on live and just have a conversation. So we talk about what's going on, and you guys send us links, and then we pull them up and react to the stories and literally have those conversations. So I'm hoping that we can start that soon, because I know that there's so much going on all over the world. I don't want this to be just tunnel vision of what we see, but there are other things that you might be seeing or you might be concerned about that you want us to also look into. So thank you, guys. Thank you, Gardening, Intergalactic Wrangler. You guys rock. Thank you for making the chat exciting. Thank you for your work as moderators. And I do appreciate it so much. We're going to be back again on Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Okay, we're going to be back at 9 p.m. Eastern. Thank you so much. And I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.